Hi, my name is Denita Jackson, and I am the owner operator of Creative Beginning Learning Center in Fairfield, Ohio. I have been here for 12 years, and I opened my child care center in 2012. Prior to child care, I worked as a licensed practical nurse for 15 years. I decided to make a pivot due to lack of passion for nursing. Even though when I first went in, it was really exciting, I lost my passion, and I feel like no one should ever do something that they're not passionate about. I feel like it is so important to be true to ourselves and follow our dreams, even if it takes us some time to achieve them. It's always worth it. So in 2011, I decided, along with a friend, to open up a child care center. I found a location in Fairfield Township and began my journey. And since then, I have worked with ages between 6 weeks and 12 years old. In the beginning, I would definitely say that I did not know what I was in store for. Some of my experiences during my journey, if you would have told me that I would be doing them, I would have probably said that I'm not going to sign up for this. But I am so happy that I didn't have a crystal ball and I didn't know what was in store for me, because childcare has absolutely chosen me and stolen my heart. I love what I'm doing. I get to partner with parents and children to help develop and expose them to a whole wonderful world of learning. There are so many opportunities that I have learned in childcare to help families and to learn more about childhood development, which I think is so important, especially early childhood development. So that's what in the morning gets me up. And a lot of people would tell me throughout the years, you really are patient, you really like kids. And I just assumed everybody, like kids, and understood that you did have to be patient with them. But as I continue in this journey, I realized that this is honestly a talent that I have been given. And I feel like it is my responsibility to be in this field, to play a role in all the little ones' lives that I get to be exposed to. And I absolutely love it. I have a team of 5 other members, and they also love what they do. And it's really a joy to be able to identify talent, which I never really realized that that was a gift as well. I can tell you in a couple of minutes if you want to work in a child care center or not. Just the way you interact with the kids, if you light up when they ask you a whole bunch of questions and you want to answer them. So being able to build a team of members that actually like working with children and they get as excited as me is just such a blessing. And that's what gets me up in the morning. Just knowing that I'm going to be able to have multiple experiences, not only with my children, but with their families, seeing them grow. We at Creative Beginning Learning Center, we love having events for family, bringing families together, allowing them to get to know each other. That's always exciting. Having people in the room that normally wouldn't be in the room together, sharing their experiences about their little ones. So as far as that goes, that's the reason why I do what I do. When I first started, I didn't start out with a lot of money. I had to work my full-time job, which I was working as a nurse. I was working as a nurse. I was working as a Medicare nurse. So I would work at night and I would come into the center during the day. And that's why it's so important for you to do something that you really like. Because normally if I was doing something that I didn't like, I would have probably fallen asleep. But I think it was just the charge of having my own business and being able to really see the impact that I was making. And then also having the staff really helped me. So for the first, I would say 3 or 4 years, I actually worked in the healthcare profession, and I was working in my childcare business. What else can I tell you about my experience? I'll say this over and over again. If you like what you're doing, you will definitely make those sacrifices. And it's worth it. And me being a business owner, those are the things that I have to do for my business. My business is, an entity within itself. So, I have to make sure that I'm being an advocate for my business. And when I first started, my what's the word I want to use? My focus was making sure, that my children were taken care of and, everything was safe. And that's what we definitely still focus on. But I quickly learned that I would be wearing multiple hats. I thought that I was just going to be making sure that the kids was okay and that everybody would, just love kids the way I love kids. But I did quickly learn that I had multiple roles that I would have to play. And that would sometimes be a teacher, which I love being, administrator. I enjoyed that. Doing being the manager. But what I also learned that I would also have to make sure that if somebody called off, I had to go in that room, or if I didn't, have enough money, sometimes I would have to take funds from my own. A lot of times I would have to take funds from my own banking account to make sure that expenses was covered. But because I love this business so much, it didn't bother me. And that's why I say being an advocate for your business, making sure that you have resources, so your business is running smoothly, taking care of the people that come in and they do a good job. Also, letting go of people that don't do such a good job, even if you do like them. What else can I say about being a business owner? It really made me see that I'm sorry, I'm lost for words. It made me see that I am, I have to separate my emotions. Yeah, that's something I would like to talk about. You have to separate your emotions from business decisions. I am naturally a kind and sensitive person, so I can take some feedback harshly, but being a business owner, I definitely have learned how to separate the two. It is so important to realize that, you have to really, you have to protect your business. And someone may come in and may, expect for you, especially, you can walk, most corporations, you can't walk in and talk to the owner, or, someone higher up. But when you have a small business, you can walk in and you can talk to the owner, and people will look at you and really expect for you to break rules for them or do favors for them. It's very important that you don't let your emotions get involved. And at times people will say things about you that are not true, or make you feel like you enforcing the rules are, they will think that it is, but I'm sorry, let me rephrase that question. Someone may challenge you because you enforce the rules, and they want you to change your rules to suit what they got going on, and you can't do that. You can't compromise your business. You have to protect your business. I've been blessed to be in business for the last 12 years, going into my 13th year. I love what I do, and I'm, just so happy that I have been given this opportunity, and that I have families that trust me and my staff to be a part of their child's development. I would also encourage business owners, new business owners, to take courses in management, leadership. I am currently enrolled in an accounting class. I didn't think I had time in the beginning to do that, but I quickly seen that these are all the skills that you need to be a good business owner. Being a good business owner is definitely about providing a good product or good service, but it also means making sure that you are financially responsible. And sometimes when you're going so fast, you don't get an opportunity to really see, you really don't get to slow down and look at the financial side of your business. As long as you're bringing in money, that was my experience. As long as I'm bringing in money, I'm good. But we're not working just to be working, or I hear people say, just have another job. I think it's very important if you're in business to scale your business. I love that, I'm able to provide opportunities for my employees, and give them opportunities to grow. But if I'm not being financially responsible, I'm not able to do that. So that's very important to me as a business owner, on top of providing a great service. Let me see, what else can I think of? I think that if you have a gift or you have a passion, that you realize, even if you don't completely understand how you're going to make it in a business, you owe yourself that opportunity to try. To definitely try. And that may mean not saying go out and quit your job, because I didn't do that. But, you have to be strategic. And being in business is definitely being strategic and figuring out, how to make ends meet, and also how to raise more revenue, capital. But when you first start a business, you may not be able to quit your job, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. So if you have to work, a part-time job, I had to work a full-time job for a couple of years, and I cut it down to part-time. Do it. It is worth it. If it is something that truly brings you joy, and you know that your service or product is going to help somebody else, I feel that's the reason why that is the reason why we are put here, to help one another. And you may have a talent that I don't have. My talent is I'm able to work with children, and I truly enjoy it. And I hear a lot of times people are like, wow, you have a hard job. And I think that it is a hard job, and it definitely would be a hard job for someone that does not have the patience to work with children. But I love children, and I'm so happy that I have this passion. Now, I say, what is your passion? Because I'm sure some of the things that you guys are out here doing, I probably wouldn't want to do it, but I need it. Just like everyone needs a good, solid child care center to bring their children where they know they're going to be safe and loved, and they're going to learn, and they're actually going to be able to have a competitive edge to go to the next, to the next step in their life. And that's what we pride ourselves doing at Creative Beginning Learning Center. We always want to make sure that we're providing our children everything that they need, so when they are in that next step in their life, they will be prepared. And if for some reason, while our little ones are here, we do identify some type of challenge or developmental delay, we're happy to do that as well, because it's so important that any of those delays are being caught early. So with that being said, it's so important that if you do have a passion, that you go and you pursue it. Be curious. Find out why you like to do what you do. It could be something very, very niche or very, different. Someone say, But if you like it, go and pursue it. We need more small businesses. We need more people that are dedicated and they like what they do. I can't tell you how many times I've been places and I see people and I know they really don't like what they do. So whatever it is, give yourself that opportunity, challenge yourself, and to find out what it is that makes you tick, because I feel like we all have something inside of us.